everything else looks.
I don't think it's your internet. I think it's
Nope.
the website. I have a
I
lot
think
of
you're right.
problems with that sometimes.
But don't use the app.
No,
The
I'm
a-
on
the app
Mac.
is the app is broken.
Well, it's
Damn you,
not really.
Hasbro, breaking things.
Yeah, it's not popping up.
Yeah, that's weird. I mean, I'm not really seeing a whole lot of news this week, honestly. Um,
Well, a short show, a short show, I think will be good for everybody. Just
yeah, we had a fairly long one last week. Um, Talked about a lot of stuff. Um, Kind of got caught up on a lot of things. That's why it was so long. Um, we did talk about weird prototype stuff last week. I remember that. That was cool.
Yeah, I had a little bit of that, and that's stuff that we can jump further into, and maybe even have some stuff to show once I get clean this room up.
Yep. Once we get the room cleaned up, it should be okay. I'll be able to show off some stuff. Hopefully, someday I can come over and do some good photography for you, so we can do
Yeah,
something
my
with that
my
stuff.
photography sucks.
I'll have to
heck,
take a special
maybe
trip to Kentucky to do that.
Yeah,
well, maybe you could do it on a night, and then you take your stuff with you if you can, and have the show from his place.
yeah.
Yeah, very true. I mean, you do come to Kansas City every now and then.
It's
Usually
been a
it's all business, though.
yeah, and you get a little suitcase or a little backpack, and that's it.
Yeah.
For
I
my
mean,
business trip, we travel extremely light. So
uh,
it's what you can fit on your back.
it's pretty much an overnight bag.
That's all it is, because that's all I'm there for.
Can't carry a bunch of prototypes and toys with you.
No,
Big
but
old freaking
not
duffel
to
bag.
say I'm not saying that when I went on for work, I didn't get stuff and put it in that backpack and bring it back with me. I've done that.
Mm. Yeah, speaking of backing up a little bit from last week, I personally did buy me a Lyle Kaiser. I bought a knockoff, undersized knockoff of one. Um, it should be coming in the mail here in a few
Where'd you
days.
buy that out of?
I got that off of eBay actually.
Really?
I noticed the guy that actually dropped a lot of the older KOs on eBay, which is kind of nice because they're getting harder to find. I don't know
You
if this guy
can't send me
has a
that link.
stockpile or something, but he had like four of them, so I went in and bought one.
Sometimes when you see that, it could be just a store closing, or you get the fines and all that, and someone jumps on it and just grabs them and throws them up to make a few bucks. But if the price is right,
Yeah, I believe
you
this
jump.
guy goes by Art Fire or something like that.
Our Fire 2000.
Yeah,
Okay,
Nah, but it is not that.
okay, because our Fire 2000 carries. I can't add enough use to this. Super high end Transformers because Brian got a Battle Gaia from him.
well, he has a
Oh,
dag base. It's not
Battle
complete, but
Gaia.
he has a dag base.
Yeah.
well, he is Chuck is the guy that
Yeah.
if it's for vintage Japanese and you want it, he's got the connections to find it.
Hmm.
If he doesn't have it, he'll find it.
Yeah, I mean, I I didn't think it was too bad of a deal, especially how old some of those KOs are now, because those are like early 2000s KOs. Like I'm talking like 2001, 2002,
Well,
something like
and
that.
Chuck's also the guy that's smart enough to know that the knockoff stuff has value,
Hmm.
is hard to find,
Hmm.
and is
Well,
want.
yeah. It's like when I was growing up, my parents, when they retired, did antiques and collectibles. And one thing at the time that was very valuable was carnival glass from the mid to late 1800s up until the 1920s and 30s.
Hmm.
And in the late 80s and 90s, a company called Fenton started reproducing that. Now, some of the Fenton pieces nowadays goes for as much as the original pieces did,
Oh yeah.
because again, it's just you don't see that anymore.
Well, you
No.
you had mentioned Battle Gaia.
Yeah.
And I mean, it goes for a lot of money. Well, that vintage knockoff that is really, really close, it doesn't go for that, but it comes close enough. I mean, you'll pay over $1,000.
Yeah. I mean, I just want some third party. And none of the third parties, whether it's a Legend class with Magic Square or New Age, whether it's third party like Ocular Max, Mastermind Creations, X Transbots, no one has done a Battle Gaia color, and they've all done Bruticus, I think, except for X Transbots. And it's like,
Why?
they keep doing the Ruination, they
Yeah.
keep doing Baldigus,
Mhm.
which I understand it's more well known. I mean, I through EFCon, Mastermind did their Regenesis and their Ruination / Ruination was a different color in the U.S. than boys were, but it's still Baldigus, and it's like they've done the regular. I think they've done the G2. They've done this, and they still have not done a Battle Gaia. I just want a third party in any format except those Dreamstar toys that makes those absolutely nightmarish level. They're the ones that did that Superion that was all silver, and now they're doing a Devastator. Now they're doing a clear Devastator. They've announced a Bruticus, and it's like that's where they're so over-engineered. You can't transform them.
Enjoy it. Can't enjoy
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Yeah, to put it in old school third party terms, it's Fans Project Motor Master.
Ugh.
Yeah, you get that's the level that I see is Fans Project Motor Master.
I give
Anyway,
you a true
Yeah, no,
story
thank
on
you.
that. I give you a true story on that. When I got that one, it was actually, I think, the last third party I got. And I remember transforming it, and everyone was talking about it. And I'm like, I don't see what's so big about it. And one of the things I read is, I mean, some of those panels are really sharp. And I didn't believe them. 2 Band-Aids later, I believed them.
Citizen Stack
It will
was
cut you.
that way. Yeah, Citizen Stack. When that very first X Transbots, when they did a third party masterpiece scale ish Ultra Magnus, Brian got cut on one of the plastic pieces that was on back.
I mean,
Anyway,
yeah. So have your Band-Aids ready.
Yeah. But you know something that doesn't require Band-Aids and actually turned out really, really, really nice? Because, you know, Megaman's talked about it last week, and something he had been wanting for a while. But we actually wanted to hear
$1
what Don thought of that HasLab Laukaiser.
okay. Ain't good.
It good, that's
All
it.
right.
See you next week.
Good job. I told you everything I knew.
Yep.
It was good.
The figure is so good, I regret not buying 2. Because I was worried the individual Breast Force members would have been so compromised to get Leo Kaiser looking as good as he did that I really wouldn't be happy with spending the money for a second set. I was proven wrong. The individual robots, while I'm going to use the word chunky, but I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just for them to do what they have to do as good as they do it, they got to have a little more mass. So, but the transformations are very easy. The instructions are some of the best instructions we've gotten from Hasbro in a very long time.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
That's
I literally,
saying something. Though.
yes, I did not have to use anybody's transformation video. I actually sat down and did the instructions, and I was able to follow everything because of the contrast on the moving parts. Some areas are a little, you're moving this, but it doesn't really show what you're moving. So you have to do like the, spot 10 differences between these two pictures. It's like, okay, the wheels are up here, whereas on the other picture they were down, so it's the wheels that are being moved.
Well, but then there was a couple moves where you just what I call hop and pray, to where you think you're moving it the right way. All right, let's see what happens, and it works. The big thing I'm just gonna just one little thing on the instructions. So I didn't hit on that. I was able to read them without my magnifying glasses.
Yeah,
And,
that was.
and that's I know. I mean, I know I'm getting old, but I mean, some of these instructions that they've been coming out with lately, it's so small because you got to fit everything, and it's so hard to read. But this one, maybe they actually did listen to people saying, "Look, you need to make it bigger. We need to be able to see what we're doing, not
Yeah.
just." Oh, there's this little grayish area on this black background that you got to move, and I'm like, it looks all black to me. I
Yeah,
can't see it.
because us guys, we have problems with grays and blacks and blue.
Yes, they look the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we need some of the worst toys that I don't like is Beast Machines. Some of the best instructions on the back of the boxes were Beast Machines because they were using the actual grade prototypes and highlighted the stuff in white for the transformations.
And you can't tell.
Yeah, and that high contrast, it was very easy to understand. But again, great instructions, great looking figures. Having Death Cobra as an arm is kind of cathartic because other than the Legends class Lyle Kaiser that I have not had a chance to put together, there's not been a Death Cobra officially until now, and only that first third-party one through the Legends size. So having Death Cobra as an arm is really nice to be able to do, and then swapping out with Hellbat. The only problems that I really had, well, this was very minor, but Kill Bison and Drill Horn have a very specific set of operations to get them into leg mode.
Yeah, to get that thigh.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and you kind of if you don't do it in that order, you kind of got to pull them apart to get it. It will still be a solid leg. It just won't look as good.
Mhm.
But that was not much. Once you got because again they're very very similar to each other, so that's not a problem. The worst problem I had, which is not saying much, but when the two parts of Jaguar connect, they fit that rail system. Once you see the rail, it slides in, it pops in, it's not going anywhere. When you add Leozak, that's when things get a little frustrating because unless you're supporting the back, kind of got your leg holding up his feet, pressing down on Leozak as he connects. Otherwise, when you connect him to Jaguar, it pushes it out of the railing.
Right.
So you have Leozak connected to the back half of Jaguar, floating over here in space, and his hips are over here because it wants to push the rail system apart. But once you get that combination of press, push, it's solid. It is super solid.
Now, I found that until I did the wheel lock, where the two little side wheels flip up to lock into place, and when I was doing it and doing it the first time, I guess I glossed over that portion.
It's easy to do.
And I found it a little shaky. But once you lock those wheels in,
yeah,
you could pick it up any way you want. And I even showed it on the video last week. I mean, I was like waving it around. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
But I just didn't see that one piece. As far as I couldn't tell where the Breastmasters went on the back.
Yeah.
Until I watched the video. I did watch the video.
I didn't have that problem because it shows you for Jaguar, Drill Horn, and Kill Bison, they stay in the chest.
Correct.
For the three jets, there are ports on the back that it does show that they can plug. all contemporary Transformers have enough 5mm ports that you generally can stick whatever you need to stick somewhere. It may not look great, but you can't avoid from throwing them in a drawer in a Ziploc bag. But Leo's Axe breast animal kind of plays peekaboo over his back, over his head.
Yeah.
So other than that not being quite as clean, it's again that's so minor. But this is probably the best QC HasLab for Transformers that we've got. I can't think of another HasLab that had this level of positive QC coming out of the box.
I mean, I don't remember Death Star as having a lot of QC issues.
I know he had something.
If he did, I didn't hear about it. And I didn't.
I think it had something to do with the stand or something. Was kind of weird about
It
it.
wasn't. It wasn't. It was a peripheral. It was a peripheral, not like a.
It's funny you should mention the stand because I only had one gripe, and that was on Leo Kaiser's stand, and the fact that they come together with one port.
No, I haven't assembled mine, so I do not know.
It literally is one port that snaps the three of them together, and it just would have been more solid to have two. They're just little U plugs that plug them together, but they only plug together in one port. And while it's sitting on the desk or whatever, it's fine. Mm-hmm. If you go to pick it up, you just got to remember to get your fingers under all three of them when you move it around. It's just something so minor that it's not that big a deal, but if they had just done two ports on each one instead of one, I think it would have been a more solid design. But like even the port that goes into Leo Kaiser, it took me a minute to get it off the stand. It's solid. It ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. The only thing I do, like I said, I wish I'd bought two. Now that I saw how uncompromised the individual robots are. But let's be honest. If you're buying this set, you're generally not going to be buying it for the breast force. You're going to be buying it for Leo Kaiser, which is clear. They started with Leo Kaiser and then worked backwards, at least to me anyway.
I'm guaranteed they did because I believe like Leo Kaiser,
sort of like T-Spark. Yeah, it's like T-Spark Predaking.
Yeah.
I think T-Spark Predaking, that Predaking was given priority over everything else. That's why you got those Predacons looking like they do.
Correct.
In order to get that combined mode. I think Leo Kaiser was that to maybe a slightly less extreme degree. Because it does show a lot of care in not to compromise the jets.
Yeah, but the big turd, I think, is Kill Bison's tank mode. I think it just looks
that's
the robot looks good, and then the silhouette when he's together, then you go, oh, I see. And then my only other thing is the turret. I didn't like it, but I do believe that a third party kit it could very, very easily.
Yeah. Of all the robots, I think Kill Bison kind of suffers the most just to be a foot. Because at least with Drill Horn, you have something on the front to cover that big block of...
It looks more like the G1 than Kill Bison does.
Yeah.
Because Kill Bison looks like you could turn them around in the front and the back kind of look the same. There's not really no definitive front and back.
I would like to see a third part. I don't know what they could do overall to Leo Kaiser to make him better. I think it'll be more for upgrading the individual robot and then that would carry over to maybe something on Leo Kaiser. But I think the individual robots could use more attention. I don't know what they could do for Leo Kaiser himself unless they wanted to change out the weapon and make it a little
I
more
I
wieldy.
thought something that, and I had you in mind with it,
Mhm.
and that is the wings. You didn't like
Yeah, that.
two simple folds on the one wing that protrudes out,
Yeah,
just to be able to fold those in, and that would be a simple kit that you would just take it apart,
yeah.
insert the new wings, and
In
make it
person,
look
it
better for you.
yeah. In person, it does not bother me as bad. But when I
That's good
look
because
at
I said it didn't bother me, but Don said it kind of bothered him, so I'm glad to hear that.
yeah, it doesn't bother me in person as bad because I think so many of my other fears were waylaid by how strong he came out. But
Yeah,
when I notice it, I notice it.
Hmm.
But it's there's so much good there that's become an even smaller nitpick than it was originally.
yeah. My thing was I thought they could do a kit for the turret so that it would look better as a handheld weapon because it sticks way too far up for me. And I figured they could do something a little different since the missiles are actually used in conjunction with the waist. That they could just add a few extra of those to make it more like the
Yeah,
G1, and then just something. It might be as little as just adding some stickers or something to kill bison to
yeah.
differentiate the front and the back.
You know, one this is I just thought of this sitting here. One thing I would like to see, and again, this is very weird, but it does the breast animals in gun mode
Yeah,
look a little wispy. They look a little slight. If they made 6 larger shells that just fit over the existing toy that look like the guns to give it a little more heft, again, that could just be me. But I think that would help visually. But the problem is, mine are not going to be in individual modes that often, if at all. They're going to be Laokaiser.
sure, but remember, I mean, we've had kits before where we see some of the stuff that's in there, and it's like, like the one Devastator kit that had the bugles.
Hmm.
But I bet there's someone that was like, I really wanted that.
Yeah.
So it's just because it's something that we don't want
Oh, I agree.
doesn't
I
mean that
agree. I agree.
someone else might want it. So I mean,
I mean it, but I think there will be some upgraded kits for that. But I don't think it's going to be. It's not fixing a lot of bad things. It's just doing
it's
incremental increases on this or that, or maybe
you know,
this gap
a
filler.
little better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
just to even it out. But I think this is one of the most. This is the most successful HasLab in terms of QC, lack of QC issues out of the box. Quality of instruction surprises me to
Yeah.
say that.
Yes.
And I'm gonna get a special shout out the box.
Yes.
All of the HasLab stuff comes in really super impressive packaging. You can tell this is a premium product.
A
But when
box
you
and a box with spacers. Thank you.
but when you look at this Lio Kaiser box, that is the eye catch from the animated series, or the scene where right before they merge into Lio Kaiser for the first time in the series after rescuing Guy. It is an absolutely stunning box. This is why we need Legacy, the Legacy artwork book for stuff past G1. We need that for all the eras, for all the packaging, because there's going to be a time where we're not going to get this quality of packaging anymore, and I think that would be a loss, be a terrible lost art if we start going to the generic
The
green bean
subscription,
can that you used to
the,
see in
the
I
Super.
mean, that's
subscription
kind of
stuff.
what they're doing. If you look at some of the art now, it's very minimalistic with the art on a
Yeah,
lot of the
it,
boxes.
I just don't want because remember selects.
That's it. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
like
I don't want so. I understand the selects boxing because it was more about the product inside. It didn't need to be on a retail space and it didn't really need to catch it. A generic brown box that says X, that was fine for selects. I don't want to see that in mass retail
Mm-mm.
because it'll be visually boring. And even if they're saving money by doing that, they're not going to reduce the cost of the figures to compensate. So we'll be losing at least. Yeah, and I'll admit, I now throw away more of my packaging than I used to because I just don't have anywhere for it.
Correct.
And if I want it, I can take a picture, and a picture don't take anything up but space on my phone. That box is not being recycled. That is going to go as part of the display on that shelf whenever I can get to it.
Right.
Yeah. See,
The- the-
same thing. I never threw any of my stuff away. The boxes. I got a basement full of that, and the new stuff coming out, like the Power Glide and the Swerve that I just got from Jason.
Mhm.
I'm going to throw the boxes away. You know, I keep the instructions and the toys, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, I
But
think
that one's
Yeah.
going to have a spot.
yeah, I think mainline stuff now, because of space requirements and
And it's
just
generic.
no, I don't think it's generic. I think people are just got to the point where they just don't want to fool with it anymore. They love the artwork, maybe less now than maybe previous lines. Just look at some of the GI Joe stuff. Some of the retro card art is not near as pretty. It's like that one Flint I think that they showed off had like 6 fingers because they were using AI to create the artwork.
It was a 6-fingered man.
Yeah, so it's like, it's going to be a
Princess
case by
Bride.
case. Yeah, it's going to be a case. Like for example, I got this from BBTS during their big Super 7 sale. I got this Unicron.
Hmm?
It's it's the one in the box. It's Super 7. It's the reaction. The box is part of this look. It's part of the display because just the way it is. But I do have I have the Diaclone Devastator. That box I am not keeping because it's just him in a window box.
Mhm.
There is no presentation to it other than the figure is the presentation. So it's going to be more of a case by case basis. But this was $13.50 on sale.
Nice.
Yeah, so I mean that was that's going to go with Unicron, and when
Yeah,
Harold
I
and
have
his
the Japanese one. He's
Yeah.
He's back here in the back. I actually have the card
Yeah.
there on the wall. It's
when Harold and his brother Harold get here, they're going to be on the I keep wanting to get a third one. This is Larry. This is my brother Harold. This is my other brother Harold. But I don't want to spend $55 to do that joke. I'm already buying 2. But I think that unless they go super cheap at some point, being a leader class, I doubt it. I think 2 Heralds is good.
That's funny though. I like it. Maybe they'll recolor
That-
him so that way they'll just justify the fact of getting a third.
Yeah. But it's like Matt said on Radio for Cybertron. He really doesn't want a troop build leader class figure, but he does have 3 Guardian Titans in blue. So we don't have a lot to say on that.
Yeah, I can understand that. That makes sense because
But-
they kind
but
of are
we-
troop
but-
builders.
Yeah, and we got them when they were like, when you can get them for like 125. It's like a Titan. That Titan for 125 is like, yeah, I can use another one. 2's good. 2's good. Oh, they're still on sale. 3's good.
Yeah, I used to have. I want to say was it eHobby that did that back in the day when they did that reissue of Omega Supreme, but they released it as the Guardian bot.
Yeah.
I had one of those at one time,
Uh,
and I think I only
I-
paid like
I
75,
always
80
wanted-
bucks for him or something back then.
I always wanted one, and then I never found one cheap enough, and then they just kept going up and up and up and up.
Well, years ago when I purged, it was one of them I purged. And I should have hit you up back then. I didn't know you didn't have it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I've been like, "Hey, Don, I got you." What? I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. Well,
I can't jump in a DeLorean. I don't own one.
yeah, well, it's like they say in my area, if Hoppy Toads had wings, they wouldn't bust their butt.
True. Very true.
Anyway, that's my thought. I will say this: if they ever choose to go back and revisit a HasLab or recolor beyond RID Optimus in yellow, or that Deathsaurus in red as red from Brave, I really would like for them to do this Lyle Kaiser as Rescue Force. They'd have to make up 2 other members, but we got Tonkinator.
Hey, Tonkinator is cool. I'm not even
Oh,
gonna. I'm not.
Tonkinator's great. It's just
Tonkinator's amazing.
it can be done.
It can be.
So that's my thoughts on Lyle Kaiser.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad it turned out well for you and you liked it as well.
Thank you.
But let's move on to the actual subject we have tonight. We've spent about 30 minutes rambling about, a 6 combining robot. We're going to talk about like influence, like when it comes to characters and throughout any of our media growing up, basically. A lot of people look at Optimus Prime as like a father figure. We were thinking of like, father figures, ones that actually influenced us growing up, And I'm really kind of curious, like, when it comes to the whole thing, that's why we call this a Sparkplug special, because, talking about Father's Day and such. And I'll start with Megamus. Who is like your influence when it came to like cartoon character wise? Who really kind of laid it out for you when it comes to this stuff? It could be any media other than Transformers,
Well, I'm just going to lean into Transformers, but
Mhm.
the thing that got me thinking about this was, and I cannot remember his name. He was one of either the president, Kara, but when he was talking about the naming of the characters, and he mentioned Bumblebee, he kept saying "good boy," and that's basically the way that they looked at him, as a someone that looks up to Optimus Prime. And Optimus Prime was his mentor, kind of like a father-son relationship. And that's what got me to thinking about, were there others? Um, and that's where the whole quasi theme came from. For me, and it's kind of tough because it was more me filling in blanks. But one of my favorites was Prowl. He was decisive, and to me, he represented an authority figure who was kind and gentle. He didn't, and a lot of that stuff, if you look in the comics, he's mentioned, in the cartoon he's mentioned, but he wasn't, in my opinion, he was never really filled out as much as like Prime.
Mhm.
I mean, because the easy answer would be, oh, Prime, he's courageous, he's kind, he's loyal, caring. But that's because they showcased him a lot. I liked Prowl for what he represented and what he did. So if you were going
In a lot of ways, he influenced your upbringing.
a little bit, maybe helped guide me thinking wise into what I wanted to do. You know, um, Although it was actually my grandfather, but still, it was one of those things I resonated with that character, and it was tough for me because he's not. I can't think of one cartoon in which he was actually featured predominantly, but he was always there. And then in the comics, there's a couple things, but it was kind of like never really featured. But hey, I had an imagination. I could fill in the blanks,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why he became my favorite.
Interesting. That's kind of cool, considering your career went off into law enforcement, which is pretty cool. I think it's actually really interesting how that worked out for you. So, Don, what's yours?
To be honest, I really don't have one. Eh, Growing up, I had my mom and my dad up until I was in my mid 30s when dad passed away, and then mom passed away a few years after that. Um, so I really did. I saw these characters as father figures in their show. Jaga from Thundercats, Optimus Prime, maybe General Hulk or Duke, kind of filling that road for GI Joe. Um, you know, so I saw the archetype in these shows, and but it never really affected me as far as having a father figure because I had my dad, and for our differences, we got along really well. There was some differences. I can't tear down a car like he could. I can't go in and rebuild a motor. I can't do this or that. I didn't care for hunting. I liked to fish like he did, but I didn't like to hunt. So there was a lot of differences that he really couldn't get past that, oh, you're my son and you don't do these things or you can't do these things, and he didn't never could quite figure out why I wasn't picking up. But that I think that's every father and son in some capacity. That they just have this dichotomy of like, you're my son and I know you can do this, you just gotta try harder. And it's like, Dad, I just don't understand what you're doing. It doesn't make any sense to me. We eventually we sort of left those things alone and we got along fine until he passed. I just saw those archetypes in these shows and understood what I was seeing, especially Jaga. If you think about Jaga was the father figure that Lion-O no longer had. So there's that. But they never really resonated with me on any kind of personal level other than, okay, I see what you're doing and I get it and I understand it's part of the story, whether it's subtext or whether it's out there in the open. So, I really the only thing and this is really not Father's Day, but I think it needs to be brought up. I don't think Carly from Transformers gets enough looked at for the hell she went through marrying into the Witwickies, having Daniel be just like his father, and then both her husband and her son become headmasters. And then we have no idea what happens after that. So it's like, in terms of parents, in terms of that, I just think as a character, she needs to be given a lot more respect for what she was going through. Again, she's a fictional character. I understand that. I'm just saying, if we look at all these parents and all this stuff like that, what she was going through as a character was probably worse in a lot of cases than anything we saw on screen elsewhere. So that's just something that's always stuck with me, is how she's not really given a lot of thought on what she was probably going through, especially post rebirth. So there's that. Um, and also the the parental figures that were made out to be terrible parental figures to be the villain. That always kind of bugged me. It's like, yeah, you're making them undislikable because they're not sympathetic. They're just evil for. It's like Skeletor being Randor's brother in later incarnations of Masters of the Universe. I found that, well, gee, watch Star Wars much? It's like Star Wars did it pretty good. Then a lot of people after that was like variations on the theme. So that made me more upset doing bad plot twists and all that kind of stuff. It's again, as far as using, oh, I am your uncle, I'm evil, Prowler from across the into the Spider Verse and across the Spider Verse and all that. But on a personal level, they never really resonated me with as a father figure, but I understand what they were trying to do within the confines of their continuity. And I was rooting for them to be successful, for Lino to become better, for Falcon to not be such an absolute massive screw up, things like that. But yeah, that's that's not what you were looking for, I know, but that's just kind of the way it always was for me. Other than the whole thing with Carly, it's just like more concept and execution that bugged me more than them being actual father figures to me.
I mean, that's interesting because not everybody has one. In my case, I would say I have a few. Um, Growing up, I watched a lot of Adam West, so but I was I was more into like, well, Transformer wise, you guys probably all guess would be Wheeljack because I think I resonate and click more with the way he was because he was always quirky, having to kind of prove himself a bit. Even when he was like the engineer dude, he would mess up, you know, but he would still try and not give up. Um, I think that really kind of resonated with me when it came to like a role model and Transformers to look up to. Um, I would have to say Sergeant Slaughter for GI Joe because I did grow up watching wrestling, so I saw Sergeant Slaughter actually wrestle too, and finding out how throughout the years what that man's done for communities is
Hmm.
absolutely incredible. And I mean, I was in the service too, so I mean, I can understand why, he was never in the service, but how even servicemen actually looked up to him because of how he approached things and did things, and how he still does that, even to today. So, I mean, when it comes to really big influences, I would really have to say Sergeant Slaughter is probably the huge one. Other than Skeletor, I just love Skeletor. Always have. Um,
Can I give an honorable mention to Mr. T?
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
I pity the fool.
I put it
Yeah, because
full. Yeah.
I think he gets overlooked a lot, not out of any malice, just because of people today not knowing what a force of nature he was in that time period, and the good he has done
He had his
for
own
for
cereal, guys. His own freaking cereal.
cereal.
That should tell you something.
And he did a commercial with the first lady.
Yes, yes,
Oh
he
yeah,
did.
yeah, with Nancy Reagan.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Say no.
There's you a buddy cop movie. Nancy Reagan and Mr. T. There's you a buddy cop movie.
What was the movie with Sylvester Stallone?
Stop
And
or my mom will
well,
shoot with Estelle Getty
yeah,
from Golden Girls.
I'm sorry, you can't improve on that. It would just be a watered down version of that. That was too funny.
It's very true. We just got a random sideburn.
Yep.
Who's that Pokemon?
Yeah.
It's Sideburn.
Family stuff. Family stuff ran long. We had lasagna,
Ooh,
I
other
love
good
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
I like making
Blackberry
meatloaf.
blackberry crumble. Celebrating my dad and my brother, both fathers.
My wife for my birthday has my favorite dessert up there, which is which will make a lot of people blink, a Jello no bake cheesecake. That's all I ever asked my mom to do. Other than 2 years, I got a little creative and I never did that again because it was a lot. A Boston cream pie is not as easy as what you think.
No, but they're
Um,
good.
I like
they're
my
good.
no-bake cookies. That's what I
Yes,
like.
yeah, the peanut, yeah, but yeah, she has a Jello no bake up there for me when we get done.
Oh, happy birthday, by the way. Mine's on Friday.
Oh,
Woohoo!
So
I,
we were also
I
talking about what we're doing next week.
yeah, I am today. I am 56 years old. I remember being in my teens. I remember being in my 50s. I remember being in my late 40s. 20 to 45 is just this blur of like, I'm sure I was alive. but I don't remember anything about it. I just
other
was
than
there.
toys you bought, probably.
It
Yeah,
doesn't.
This guy.
every time I go through a box of stuff to sell, it's like I remember him. I remember him. I remember him. I know I have 2 of those. When did I buy the second one?
How did I acquire?
I was
2 of
actually-
these?
I've been going through a bunch of stuff I've had boxed for a real long time, and I'm actually trying to figure out what the heck happened to a few of them. Like all my Seekers all my classic Seekers, I don't know where they are. I'm like, I have all my boxes, so they're somewhere, but trying to figure out what the heck's going on.
Just pull out your trusty plastic yellowing detector. That'll find them.
I don't know. They might be lost in my room. I can't find anything in here.
It's been amazing, actually. I pulled out my animated figures for the first time since I moved into my old house in 2016. They've been boxed that whole time. Just apparently this is good for the figure, but just one shoulder on my Shockwave, the gray one, just completely yellow. I had someone go, "That's it? Like half of mine's yellow." So I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'll take one shoulder," but it looks really weird, just one shoulder. It's actually been pretty interesting. All these things, that have been sort of ferreted away for a really long time because I never pulled them out to display them in my old house. That I'm pulling them out. And I'm like, I don't remember this being this yellow. I'm pretty sure a lot of this stuff yellowed inside of a dark cardboard box.
It's kind of crazy how that can actually just happen when you have something stored away for so long. But anyway, we're talking about role models, and and like Optimus Prime and all those. Who would yours be, Cyber? Like, doesn't necessarily have to be Transformers. Like mine, Sergeant Slaughter. Don doesn't really have a huge one, so I mean, what would you have? If you
I'm probably gonna fall into Don's camp. I mean, I obviously looked up all the like the sort of hero good guys as a kid. I mean, I think it's impossible not to. Like every boy my age wanted to be a Power Ranger, fight bad guys, stuff like that. I mean, back in the day, to be real, when I was a kid, my sort of idol was Shaquille O'Neal, because I was, I'm born and raised right in the suburbs outside of Orlando, so those are the Orlando Magic Shaq days. So, like a lot of my childhood around that time, I thought I was going to be a basketball player when I grew up. I didn't get tall enough. I'd be a pretty short basketball player, even at 6 foot tall.
So
yeah, I mean,
Fu then.
but I was a pretty singular focus like kid. So, like, when I got into Beast Wars, that was kind of the end of my interest in most things. Like even Power Rangers took a side, and I didn't really care about anything else but Beast Wars. So, but I mean, my well, at the time I probably wasn't quite into Godzilla yet. I had seen maybe a few movies, but that stuff was trickling into America in slow, strange ways. 1998 is like, I knew Godzilla enough to be super excited about Godzilla 98, but I think it was like watching Godzilla on TV a few times, that stuff was a little harder to get back then. Like now it's, none of the youngins know what it was like to see a movie once on TV and never see it again.
Had to acquire the stuff through the black market on VHS somehow.
Yeah,
because it was never on television.
I have so much stuff that my first copy of Transformers Hero, that special they did, was on a 4th generation VHS. I still have my RID 2000, my car robots, on VCD.
Nice.
So how long ago that was.
Yeah, that was I just remember, a lot of that stuff, it was like a Best Buy in 2004. You were walking through the DVD section, it was like, what? This is on DVD? Oh my goodness.
Or my favorite was Suncoast.
Yeah.
But I mean, so yeah, I mean, like, I mean, I probably like idolized the entire Maximal cast of uh, Beast Wars. There was something to look up to in all those characters. I was the kid who connected with the yellow character. Maybe I would have been a Bumblebee kid if I was born early enough in the '80s, but I was the Cheetor kid in the '90s. You know, which kind of makes sense. Cheetor was the character that sort of was there as the kid growing up in the show, right? He started off sort of as your
Adolescent.
obedient little adolescent, and then he turned into sort of the punk teenager.
And then he goes Transmetal 2.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
see, that was what was so neat about that, because they actually showed it.
Yeah.
When-
And then
when
he did have the most.
He evolved physically and as a character.
When he had the most, I think he had sort of the most satisfying arc in all, between Beast Wars and Beast Machines, because I do think that he was it was interesting, at least in Beast Machines, to see him become the responsible leader over that, the whole course of his character development arc. But.
Yeah, plus he becomes the Alpha Trion in like a couple of eons down the road. He becomes the Alpha
Trizer.
Alpha Trizer, yeah. So it's like, he has probably one of the most fulfilling character arcs in the entire franchise, of where he was versus where he ends up.
The Cheater Squad. I know they brought his character back in Cyberverse, but I never really watched enough of that. I started watching.
It wasn't the same. It wasn't the same Cheetor. It was just a
name only.
But he's Bumblebee.
Yeah, I never liked that, and it kind of was kind of like, I really believe some executive went, oh, this one's primarily yellow, that's primarily yellow. Yeah, they got to be the same character, and I think it was something that's stupid.
Yeah.
And I never got that.
It's kind of like when people see Power Master Prime. I now think of it as Genrai, not Optimus Prime. So to me, it's a completely different character. So I just think it's kind of crazy, because like it's like you said, like a CEO sees something and it's the same character, but no, actually it's not, because they're written completely different.
Yeah. The problem is we're looking at it with hindsight and knowledge that the audience watching it now would not have. So their take would be completely different.
Well, sure, but I mean, even look at when Beast Wars first came out. Look at the Versus pack that came out, the 2-pack. Optimus Prime and Megatron. Oh, well, these are just the two G1 characters that are now Beast. No, not only did you get the name wrong, but that's not even the same Megatron. But when you first saw it, it was a recognition.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're gonna pull these characters that you know already to help plug our new one.
Yeah, all the tech specs on that first wave of Beast Wars, or the first before it went Transmetals, really kind of alludes to them being sort of a continuation of the G1 characters.
Not only did they have the name wrong in the first one, but if you read the comic and how they act and who they are, it's geared more towards the Alligator Megatron being G1 Megatron. And that's not what it was supposed to be.
I love that Alligator Megatron. It's such a good toy.
Funny you should say that.
Changers are amazing.
I need to get Meg Alligator. And Combat. I need those so bad.
Funny you should say that too.
I kind of wonder if there's ever going to be because we did have we had that homage. Like, what was it during when the heck was that when they did that? It's when they did all the headmasters at that time.
Yeah, I got that one.
Turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they use the mind wipe to do.
You might
wonder if
you,
they'll
you
revisit
might
those.
want to go to a certain show next month. You just might.
Okay. You're being a little too cryptic over there, Megamus.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I haven't made any announcements. This is like the first tease I've even thought about doing.
Does it? You mean something like?
Like there might be a versus pack that might be available at a show by someone that you know in very limited quantities. I'm just saying. There might be. There is.
Did these require building?
Nope.
Okay. Although I
Do
kind
they
of wish they
requ-
would.
That's not a bad idea either,
Yeah,
man.
do-
I'm sorry, but I
like
kind of wish they would because
And
I
I
would
do
love
have
set
a lot of
those.
access to building stuff.
Do they require me sneaking in the back door to help the dealers carry stuff in, so I can see them early, which may or may
no.
not have may or may not have happened in 94, 95, 96,
No.
98.
This would be more along the lines
It's
of.
like this year.
It might be more along the lines of finding someone that loves doing room trades.
I miss room trades.
I've only done the last 2002, 2003, 5.
We
5.
get it. You're old.
But guess what? Don's older now.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, but
He
Don's
outran
eternally young at
Rams.
heart.
He beat you to the finish line, buddy.
We're all getting old.
That's all right.
Turning 38.
My grandkids send me all the time. You're old. I'm like, I wear it as a badge of honor. I'm still here.
My freaking nephew today. I don't know what's gotten into him. It's just a funny story. But it was like happened like in 30 minutes before they or an hour before they left. He comes in because he usually calls me Uncle Mike. He comes in and his like mat that he plays cars on, I had picked it up and put it away. He comes in and he goes, "Michael, get roads." And I was like, "Who do you think you're calling Michael, kid? I'm your Uncle Mike."
You know, it's kind of like when your mom would call you in for dinner, and if you ignored them, then they used your middle name and you knew you were in trouble.
Yeah, I'm like,
it's kind of like that. They put that middle name in there, and you're like, "Guys, I got to go."
What are you using my full name for, kid? You're 2 years old.
I'm out. No, I'm in trouble.
Maybe he thinks because you're gonna be a year
Well, he
older.
heard his dad a couple weeks ago go, "Michael, stop it." And so this whole time he's been going, "Michael, stop it." But now he's started using started using Michael in different sentences. It's like, hey, I didn't give you permission to call me that. You call me Uncle Mike, kid.
I had the grandkids. They would call me, you know, by my first name or this, and until they called me granddad, I would ignore them. I would just flat out ignore them. Hey, what? I'm talking to you. You can say my name.
Yeah, I would if I could reason with him right now, but he's a little he's not reasonable yet.
Yeah, I mean,
And that's the plan if he
they're a
continues.
little
with that
older
little
than
boy.
yours, so yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
So
I do want to add one thing,
Go for it.
because this isn't more of a role model type thing, but I actually really did appreciate it. One of my favorite shows, more so than Transformers, was Robotech,
Mhm.
and it was the dynamics between Roy Froker and Rick Hunter, and he always called him little brother, and they never really talked about it, but there was actually novels and stuff like that that actually told more what it was about, and it got me to appreciate the characters even more. But I always loved that show, and I always thought it was neat. You know, Roy would just be the guy that's like, "I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to take care of you. I got this." And then I'm going to mentor you so that when I'm gone, you can run the squadron. You can be the guy. And I thought that was a really neat dynamic. But it was
Yeah,
also
see,
my favorite show.
That
Yeah.
for my generation was Kamina in Gurren Lagann.
It was what?
You've probably never watched Gurren Lagann, but there's a guy. There's like two orphan kids, and the one is like they call each other brother.
Yeah.
It's basically sort of the same thing, except for it's way overblown, and he's like a real like character and everything. But it was basically sort of the same dynamic. You
Well,
know, teaching him how to be a strong,
take his place.
yeah,
Yeah.
to take his place.
So I don't know if you guys. I mean, do you know the relationship between the two characters? Because in the animated series, it was kind of touched on, but it never really talked about it.
I don't recall. I mean, I've only ever watched through it once.
It's
The
been-
way that the animated series was, it was kind of like, you know, Roy kind of brought this kid who lost his
I know
dad.
Roy was like my favorite character.
He was great.
He's
And he brought him under his wing and taught him everything. But actually, in the expanded universe novels, they talked about it. And what it was is that Rick's dad dies, and Roy Foker's dad adopts him. So they're actually stepbrothers. And it makes a little more sense why he calls him Big Brother.
That does make more sense because I know there's like when it came to like the Japanese translation of a lot of those, it was different. I know there was a lot of darker craziness that went on within some of it that they really kind of made more lighthearted for the American audience.
Yeah, the other thing is that when they do the adaptation, the subtitles and everything, you tend to lose a lot of what was intentional that you might have gotten if you knew the language, which I do not.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until later that I started looking at the novels. I got them, and it made it made more sense that probably if I had been able to understand what came out years before, it would have been common knowledge. But it wasn't until later that it was explained to me. So,
I mean, because
but it just made the dynamics even better,
right.
especially the.
But I mean, that's something I've noticed with like a lot of those shows from over there. Although some of the like we did get like the language was brought over, but like you said, like the subtitles and such. But for censorship reasons, there were times stuff was literally omitted and left out because.
Well, and there was a lot of
so
like in the 80s and 90s, there was a lot of like taking a Japanese property and basically writing a new script for it.
Oh well, Robotech's big on that. Look at the 3 books.
Voltron as well.
It had nothing to do with any of them.
Yeah.
Macross, Southern Cross, Generations, Next Generation, whatever. I can't think of it. Oh. Anyway,
Yeah.
those were 3 different shows.
Yeah.
That to bring them over, they tied them together with certain characters and context to make it a continuous show.
Yeah, because I remember finishing season 1 of Robotech and starting season 2 and being like,
You're lost.
this feels totally different. What's going on?
Yeah, and in actuality, the animation style of the 3rd one is totally different than the 1st one. But the 2nd one was kind of a little different, so it was more of like a gradual change. But
what was season 3? I never finished season 2, but
season 3 was Scott Bernard and the reflex point.
Yeah, and the cyclone armor is some of
Yeah.
my favorite mecha of all time.
Yeah, and I love the alphas. The alphas, and then trying to hunt down a beta because I saw it in the show and I was like, I want one. And then finding out later that it was, well, if you were in Italy, you could get one, you know, but they were kind of hard to find around here. And I'm going to mute because of the dogs.
Oh, puppy
I
died.
didn't hear him, but
But
someone
yeah,
tried to
like,
give me a puppy.
when it comes to like Voltron, the only real connection that they do to show off Voltron, like the Lion Force, and then the Vehicle Force actually have like a continuation. They have one episode they did where Pidge is like the brother of one of the Voltron
Yep. What was that? Fleet of
vehicle
Doom?
Voltron. Yeah,
A
they
Fleet
literally
of
did
Doom.
like one. It was a really short thing they did with it, but that's how they were able to tie both of those together. Otherwise,
Hmm.
they were known to be in completely different galaxies, never once knew each other, and any of that. And everybody's like,
Yeah.
"Well, I swear up and down, I see them fight together on screen." That's because of the
Yeah.
movie. It was not because
Yeah,
of the
and
series.
they went and made that movie because of the popularity of Voltron.
Correct. They did.
Tied everything together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I
So-
hate to go, but I'm going to have to go. I'm sorry. I gotta take care of something.
Okay.
So y'all guys have a very good evening. Those of you that are fathers, have a good Father's Day. I'm a cat dad, so that counts. Hank got me a very nice card. That was very nice of him. He's learned to shop online. Be very afraid.
Yeah, right.
So
Catnip.
Y'all-
Cats are using the internet.
He gives you
Yep.
the paw of approval.
Go enjoy your cheesecake. Have a good day. Happy birthday, man.
y'all guys have a good night. Take care.
See ya.
See you, man.
So I mean, think about like what was the main thing that connected all three seasons of Robotech? In the second one was that you found out that Dana was the daughter of Ax and Miria. That was a connection. And then in the third one, it was them constantly talking about trying to find Rick Hunter and get back to the squadron. It was name recognition and nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
But it tied them together. The story made sense, even though it was kind of spliced together.
I mean, it's like they tried to force things like kind of like family ties of some sort, and I mean, this kind of goes in with the whole Father's Day thing, and all this kind of stuff. Just how some of these seems like disconjointed things were connected just because of part of family or something, in order to really kind of pull it together, which I always thought was interesting. I don't know. I think it's kind of crazy how they can retroactively just write something in like that because of just the popularity of a toy line or whatever the cartoon was at the time, in order to try to keep it going to be able to do toy sales and stuff, and how they just grab different medias and kind of pull them together just to make one cohesive thing. I always found that kind of interesting, how they were able to do that, to make something be a continuation of something. And I don't know, it's just something I always found kind of fascinating, especially being older now and actually doing like the digging. And I don't know, I'm a big movie buff kind of guy, and finding out how they tied Aliens and Predator and Terminator and Total Recall and Blade Runner, and all those are all part of the same universe, is like really crazy. Like if you really start looking at it. So I mean, the extended universe, a lot of the stuff is really interesting to me, because sometimes people don't really look at it, and then when you actually start really looking into, like, you start really nerding out and seeing the similarities and such, like you're saying with Robotech, looking at the animation not being the same, but them writing a story to be able to tie it all together kind of makes it work. And I just find it fascinating that that's what they've done with a lot of this media to keep it going, especially for some of our childhood. It's like back in the 90s, you had that the New Adventures of Johnny Quest, and I always thought that was kind of strange compared to the original, because the original was very, you know, I don't know, kind of Flash Gordon kind of feel to me, you know. And then the New Adventures of Johnny Quest was, oh, we're jumping into cyberspace. So I always thought it was kind of strange how they were able to tie those two properties together the way they did. Not just by name and characters, just how they kind of merged them almost. I just thought it was really fascinating how they were able to write that into a whole new series. And I think that's probably part of the reason we're having such issues with some of the stuff from Transformers now, because it's like Bumblebee has to be Bumblebee all the time. Optimus has to be Optimus all the time. You can't break the mold like Beast Wars and Beast Machines did. You know, literally breaking the mold of this is who they're related, but they're not the same
like
character.
That's my. I mean, I don't hate. I'm not gonna hate on the movies or anything. Like I don't. They're not my favorite, but you know, they're. I'm not gonna be offended if I sit down and watch one, right? But I think the one thing that about the movies to me that sort of was not a total positive was kind of just like we were really trapped in a long time of these characters can't stray too far from what's on the big screen because it's what everyone knows, you know.
Yeah,
So
so, I mean,
Bumblebee couldn't talk for like 15 years, you know.
so I guess another good thing to think about is at what point is a character pigeonholed into no development?
Yeah. Well, I think
Optimus
Optimus Prime
is
has
like a
been
perfect
stuck in the same
example for
place.
that.
Yeah.
Like even if you watch like what is it, Cyber World and such they have now on Netflix, not Netflix but YouTube. I've watched a few of those episodes and I'm like, it's just Optimus Prime. He's so generic now.
That's why I really love. I mean, Primal. I love for many reasons, but I think even if I sort of strip away my childhood nostalgia of it, Primal and Animated Prime sort of stood out to me as two really cool ways to do that character without them being the same like every other Optimus, you know. And there's other Optimuses that are pretty cool. It just did seem like after the movies, Prime sort of just became like a stoic, sort of distant sort of character. And I do think like G1 Optimus Prime, the concept there was kind of just like your big brother or your dad, you know. So,
I mean, even like watching Transformers Prime, that version of Prime was very stoic and such.
mm-hmm.
The character that really stood out to me in Transformers Prime, not just because I'm a huge Wheeljack fan, but they changed how Wheeljack was. He was still an inventor, but the dude was a fighter and a freaking wrecker and was in there brawling with everybody else, which to me really elevated that kind of characterization instead of, you know, holding them back. Like, oh, you can't do that, you know. And
Wheeljack was fun. I like that Wheeljack.
yeah. I mean, personally, I think that's probably one of the best characterizations of Wheeljack ever. Honestly, I personally think so. Because I mean, I did like Transformers Prime a lot. There's a lot of
You don't like Transformers Armada Wheeljack? Come on.
That one was strange to me. I mean, I can understand.
That was a trademark, you know.
Yeah.
That was just.
I mean, honestly, who else would you call him other than Wheeljack, though?
Sideways, Sideswipe, maybe.
Yeah.
But they already had Sideways. Sideways was the motorcycle, right? So, yeah, I don't know. There's probably there's a lot. I mean, I think it was really just to, you know, it was to hold on to that Wheeljack trademark, but
Well, for a while they lost it. I had to call him Downshift. What was that, an Energon? Where he became the pants?
I think they did that to. I think they just did that to avoid confusion.
Yeah.
Because the downshift was clearly designed after Wheeljack, but they had already slapped Wheeljack on the Armada character.
Mm-hmm.
And this was supposed to be a sequel, so they couldn't just call the now all of a sudden Autobot, Wheeljack, because Wheeljack's a bad guy from Armada. Downshift was cool though, because the Cybertron Downshift, even though he wasn't in the show, was a really cool figure there.
Yeah.
Turning it to like the hot rod.
I mean, what do you think, Brett, when it comes to some of like these strange iterations like that, like what they did with some of them?
Well, like for Prime, I thought Optimus was a completely different character as far as you're in my eyes, it was a younger Prime starting out, and so it shows the development of the character. So I really like that. Some of the things they did, like with Starscream, it wasn't Prime, but I mean, where he would change sides or do this, and you're just kind of like, would he really do that?
Which Starscream are we talking about?
So it was it the Dark Sword and everything? Was that Armada?
Yeah.
Where Starscream?
Yeah, they made Starscream. I think they were going for they were trying to make him sort of. They were trying to make him a Dinobot. That's what they were trying to do.
Well, like I said, it just didn't really fit.
Yeah.
But I will say this much:
it was a cool Starscream.
No matter what alliteration of Rodimus Prime they do, or Hot Rod, he still killed Prime.
Yeah.
I'll stand by that.
I mean, that's a character that a lot of people, every time they see Hot Rod or Rodimus Prime, they're just like, I don't like that character immediately. Like, it doesn't matter what version he is, where he's brought in.
He did.
Just don't like that character because of he killed Optimus Prime, in the very first movie, and it's just like, this character's a different version of that version, and he's...
Don't care.
See what I mean?
I mean, I think, I really like, I liked Hot Rod and, like, the IDW stuff. He never really clicked with me outside of just being a red car with flames. I always really liked. I really kind of like Magnus and all the people around him more than him. I remember back in the day. So when I was a kid, sort of early in my collecting, in the early days of the internet, I remember I came across this like Angel Fire website. And the whole entire purpose of the Angel Fire website was how RC was responsible for everything that happened in the movie. It was like a whole website dedicated to RC hate and how she actually caused everyone in the movie to die. That's a memory from my childhood.
I mean, in a lot of ways, it was save the damsel in distress. So I get it. It's just I mean, I thought it was interesting how they wrote a female role into the original line, and then later on they hesitated to do that, and then they brought, did that in Beast Wars with like a couple. But I think it's funny how it took them that many years to start embracing the fact that it's okay to have a female robot.
I mean, it was at the end of the day, it is boys' toys, and I know there's a lot of women that are collectors. In spite of that, and we did have the the girls in the G1 cartoon, but they never got figures. But
Right.
I mean, I don't remember. I mean, if I'm being honest, like I love Air Razor and Black Arachnia, but I don't ever remember wanting their figures above anyone else. So that kind of just shows, like, I mean, now I wish I had a Black Arachnia, Transmetals 2 Black Arachnia and stuff, but I mean, I really love my Transmetals Air Razor, which is the first designed to be a female Transformer. And that was always a really fun toy, but that was kind of, I think I got that for a birthday or something like that. It was it was when I was a kid, every birthday and Christmas was buy him a Beast Wars. What if you see something that says Beast Wars, buy it for him. That was kind of that was the
easy done.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always thought it was interesting that it took that many years for them to actually start acknowledging to make these other characters, and it's still kind of few and far between. We don't get a lot of them.
It's a lot more prevalent now.
Yeah.
But also understand that there are different people.
I just don't know if it ever even made sense in the lore of Transformers.
Charge have changed too.
It's kind of.
Well, I mean, to me, they're like B and C list characters, so it's like they're not.
I mean, RC is.
Everybody wants one of, so that's why we didn't get them as often. I think it's cool that we get them now, but I mean, you look back in the '90s and we barely got any.
But you know what? I'm being honest. Like, one of my top this character needs a figure is Botanica figure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping maybe they'll repurpose that one Prime into Botanica, because it's like this character has existed for years now.
Right.
Well,
so
does it have a character?
Think of it this way, okay? If you really want to know why there are female characters as many as we do have, and they're not prevalent, I get that, but they're there. You can go all the way back to 1995, Power of the Force, Star Wars. And the reason I say that is because when they first came out, they short packed Leia.
Mm-hmm.
And even back then, the people that were, with Hasbro, Kenner Hasbro, whatever you want to call it, they knew, they watched, and they saw the secondary market. And they saw the want and the need for the female characters. So, in my opinion, I honestly believe the reason that you have so many is because of that figure. Everyone wanted it.
Well,
and they went, oh, there are boys do want the female characters. And there are girls that collect this too. Oh my God. And it carried over into Transformers as well. And then maybe they went, oh, light goes off. It's not just a one-sided brand.
Yeah,
I think that has something to do with it.
At the shop, I had a guy come in, and he came in even this past weekend, and he bought a few more vintage Star Wars figures, and he swore up and down that they did a Slave Leia and the dancer, the dancer in Jabba's palace. Though I forget what.
Depends on which one. If it was Oola, they did do.
They did Oola.
Yeah, they did Oola and Salacious Crumb as a 2-pack, and it was part of the subscription thing. Came in a white box, you pulled it out, and it had nice little artwork and everything.
Oh, okay.
It sure did.
So it was a mailaway, okay. Because
correct.
That's the thing, they did that, but I mean, later on, they, Power of the Force wise, they actually gave us a Slave Leia then, and the rest of the dancers, and that from that new sequence. And I thought it was interesting that it took them that long to realize that guys wanted that character too, not just Leia in her, normal outfits that they had her in. And during the first run, I think it was, what was it? It was pretty risky for them to do a slave Leia back then, wasn't it?
No, 90. I think it was 90s.
No, I'm talking about before the 90s, like the vintage line, the old school line. Like why they didn't do a slave
Why
Leia.
they didn't do that? I mean, they were plucking, you know, 3-second cameo figures. They were stretching at everything.
Yeah, but
The brand
I've always
brand
wondered.
just died before they did it.
Yeah, it kind of gets me like why they never did do the slave Leia because when Return of the Jedi came out and those figures were released, that's like part of the first sequence of that movie. You would think they would have done that, but I think it's
And,
because they were afraid they didn't want to release a character in a bikini. I guess.
okay, so in the 80s, it was more like the design
Hmm.
and what it revealed, and that might have pushed it back. But with that's cute. With
He's using the Force.
after 97, when
Tired of standing.
they did Slave Leia on the card, and it
Hmm.
said that word, and it was afterwards. Then all of a sudden, you can call it that. You know, what's Boba Fett's bounty hunter ship? Well, we can't call it that anymore. So they changed all that.
Well,
So
that was a recent thing.
yeah,
The old ones, even in the '90s, they still called it Slave One.
sure.
So, but like nowadays, it's like it's
I
a
think
touchy
it
subject
being
to everybody, I guess. And I'm
I
just
think
like,
her being in that costume pushed it to the back. But I think if it would have continued to be as strong as it was, and uh, even up to 84, you know, I
mhm.
think they would have done it. But somewhere around 84, 85, right at the Power of the Force, the first Power of the Force, um, sales were dwindling. So then they were like, "Oh, we need to add something. Let's do a collector coin."
Mm-hmm.
And they tried that, and it wasn't really successful. They didn't even release all 62 or 63, however you look at it, coins.
Mm-hmm.
They so then they were like, "We're done."
Yeah.
And then moms complained that I wanted to get all 62 coins or 63, however you look at it, with my kids and everything. So they would send them. So a lot of these rare coins, which were never on cards, were only given because they were sent to you because of whatever. I can't
It
remember.
paid to. So you're saying it paid back then to
To
have
bright,
a proto Karen as a mother.
correct. And I'm talking like it paid like 30 plus thousand is what a complete set of coins goes for.
Yes.
I mean, they're not cheap,
It's
not cheap
just
at all.
it's just
She
crazy.
was my mom was a cantankerous gal, but she gave me a
Well, I mean, it's like some of the
$30,000 gift.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like some of the prototypes I've seen from just the Star Wars line back then, like the AT-AT Walker that had the huge anti-aircraft gun built into the back of it. I thought that was kind of an interesting concept, and the fact
I
that they
remember
never
seeing
gave
that.
us a blockade runner, but they had a prototype of the blockade runner, and I'm like,
Yeah, but it looked like crap.
I mean,
One figure
honestly,
in the front. Ugh.
I mean, to be honest, because I've seen there's a company out there that does like short runs of these things, but that toy has actually been made and actually put in collectors' hands now because of 3D
Oh
printing
yeah,
and prototyping and stuff. Some people actually have that thing now, and
yeah. There's actually somewhere on the intranet.
mhm,
There's or intras there are schematics and everything for these that people have reversed and broken down, and you can do that, and that's great. But I'm sorry, but the blockade, the original prototype with a human, which would have been three-quarter inch figure, sticking out of the top of that, it was a little goofy,
yeah, but
you
I
know.
mean, you have to think about how big that thing was. It's like when you look at the Star Destroyer It's just a
Oh,
play set, really. It's not an
oh yeah.
actual Star Destroyer, but they just
You're
made it kind
talking.
of in a wedge shape.
You're talking the Star Destroyer was basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 scenes in the movie
Hmm.
out of the whole planet-size monstrosity that it was.
Yep.
I think
It
they
was
squeezed as much
moon,
play value as they could out of it.
it
Yeah.
was moon sized,
Yeah. Well,
small moon even.
you want to put that in your house? Knock yourself out.
I mean, I've seen people take the Death Star play sets and get, what was it, like 8 of them? And you can, like, put them all
Yeah.
together and it makes kind of a
It's like
tower,
six or eight.
but it
It
literally
makes
makes a full thing.
yeah.
I always thought that was kind of interesting that you could do that. And
In my opinion, the most cohesive set that it's ever been produced of the Death Star was the first Lego Death Star.
Mm.
It had tons of value. It wasn't cheap, but and then when they did the second one was kind of like, okay, it's a shell.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing, but it's
It was
a
just a
shell.
model. That's all
It was. They're both neat.
Yeah, to me, the first one I think is absolutely amazing. When I, at the time when I lived in Florida, I was pretty close to actually pulling the trigger on one because the Lego store there in Orlando, in downtown Disney, had one, and I almost pulled the trigger on it, but I didn't.
Oh, well, my bonehead self, I had both of them,
Mm.
and then sold them. So I don't have them.
Yeah.
But you got to give props to the new one. All right, I'm sorry, it's $1,000.
It's a wedge.
It is a wedge, but you have a jacuzzi stormtrooper, man. You
Bro,
can't
I
put a
can
price
3D
on
print
that.
a freaking jacuzzi stormtrooper. I'm not gonna pay $1,000 for a jacuzzi stormtrooper.
I want my jacuzzi stormtrooper, man. I want it.
Well, so what you do is you go on eBay, the evil bays, and you find just that figure because someone's going to sell just that figure because they don't care about it.
I can tell you right now, I'm going to sit here and say I'm not paying $1,000 or whatever and get one. I'll get one eventually, just because I want to put the sucker together.
I can understand, but where the hell are you going to display that?
Yeah,
I got
I'm
no
not
place.
there.
That's why I got rid of the last two. I had no place for them.
I'm definitely not there with you on the Death Star. However, Minas Tirith? I'm like, I was like, I don't have anywhere to put it though. There's nowhere for that.
At some point, you're like, it's just like the Unicron. I love that thing. And I remember when it came out, and I almost backed it, and I'm just like, where am I going to put it? I mean, I could try and build a table around it, put some glass over it, make a coffee table out of it. That's about it. I got no place for it. It's too big.
Its planet mode was really cool.
It was.
I
it was just
hated its transformation. Ugh.
I mean, I think it's interesting that there's a company out there that made it so where you can literally pull all the shell parts off of it, so you can actually have the planet mode standing right beside him without those bits on him. Which to me, I think would make the figure a lot lighter and more, I don't know, posable, easier
all
to
right.
handle.
You got two of those big things I got to find a place for. Thanks.
I literally, when I got mine, because it was back in my old house, and I had a dedicated room to just my computer and my collection, which I kind of have now, except for it's just called my living room. The benefits of living alone. But literally, you can see it.
Call it whatever you want.
You can see in the background, the way I had it displayed was I just had it standing on top of the box again because there was nowhere else to put it. It was too tall for all my shelves, and
yeah.
And
I'm like, this is just sitting in the middle of the room.
That's why I kind of hope they'll do the Beast Wars version of that Unicron, because I personally think that is probably a better design. It would also be smaller. You don't need a huge one. You know, I don't mind the Unicron tank thing that's coming out. It's kind of cool.
I have a lot that I need before they make some obscure like Beast Wars second Unicron. I need
I
a
want
commander
a 1-to-1
class.
scale prototype Unicron. 1-to-1 scale. That's what I want. Not too big.
I want a commander class Magnaboss. And then obviously I need a
Oh,
commander
absolutely.
class Tripredicus.
If they could just do something about the arms. I hated the arms on that stupid thing.
Which one?
Tripedicus.
Yeah,
you click the little things onto the claw, and I'm like, it's dumb.
You
Fix
can
that.
see what they were going for with it.
Yeah, but it was
it's
really
just not.
poorly made.
It's not the best way to do it, but man, it's my favorite figure. I love Tripredicus.
The ingenuity to get 3 figures to make that big of a figure was really
And
good.
I think for all of the faults in the arms, the overall execution of Tripredicus was better than Magnaboss.
It's okay.
It was really cool, having the lobster forms the legs.
No, but the beetle that would separate and become the arms,
Yeah.
By the way, we have a storm coming through, and the dogs are flipping.
Oh no.
But I liked how it did the combination because let's face it, almost 80% of Magnaboss is Ironhide. It's
yeah, but think about it. I mean, you're talking about we went from combiners 6 bots, combiner 5 bots. This is 3.
But I love them. I think they work so great.
Don't forget.
I would love to see
them. Combiners. You want to talk about great combiners? What was the trains?
Mm-hmm.
The 3 trains.
Oh yeah, I love them too. I set them up on the other day.
I would love to see an updated version of that.
There's so many people screaming about that. I really am curious if they're ever going to do that or not. Because so many people want that.
I mean,
I got JRX and I got the US version.
If you get the Japanese one, it's got the metal with the clear windows and everything. And I'm saying it's like 95% perfect. But you can't tell me that you can't make a better one. You
100%.
A little bigger, more articulate.
If they were taller, a little bigger, so that his arms aren't like
stubby
thin.
Yeah,
yeah.
But
I mean, it is cool. It's those guys. I actually think that the 3-member combiners are some of the coolest combiners. Like, I think it just works so well.
They are a lot more. There's a lot more ingenuity put into them to get them to do that than the, just plug them in.
Yeah.
That the originals did. I mean, and let me don't forget there was another 5. I'm sorry, Predaking when it first came out. I was like, oh my god, because you had 5 bots, but this thing was for the time it was massive.
I mean, it's
so big.
It's still massive. I mean,
yeah,
it's not a small guy.
No, and it was good, and it had those little push points connectors, so that when you snapped them in, like the legs in, they weren't going anywhere.
It's pretty
unless you broke it, And like we talked about last week, with it being metal, it was heavy.
I still like
Road Caesar. Road Caesar, they can do a lot better if they did a new one too.
Yeah.
Road Caesar to me had some issues with the original. I have him, and it's good, but it literally is a static pose and you're done. There's so much they could do with that.
Yeah, I'm really curious. I wonder if they're ever going to tackle any of those, because it seems like, I don't know, they're doing the Unicron tank probably just to hold the namesake right now, honestly.
Yeah, I think that one's just like, what are they going to do with the, what were they going to repurpose that fallen figure into, because they need to get use out of the mold. That one really disappointed me. Like, I knew they couldn't pull off the tank perfectly, but what disappoints me is the face, because what they took inspiration from, the Cybertron Unicron tank, has such a cool head sculpt. because it's like a skeletal face.
Mm-hmm.
He looks so freaking cool. And then so, like, if it had that skeleton face, and then the body was just like, it's kind of phoned in, but it's Unicron, I would have been like, okay, this is cool. But they just gave him like the most generic. He looks like he's got Bumblebee's face. He's got like the round cheeks, like just squeeze little cheeks. And it's like, this isn't right. He should be a skeleton. He should be an Optimus, or he should be a Unicron skeleton warrior, right? This is what he should be. Unicron skeleton. No?
Bro, I can tell you right now, there's going to be a third party out there that's going to make a freaking upgrade kit to replace that head skull. Because all it is probably a ball joint anyway. I mean, it's usually what most of these are. And honestly, they'll probably add more to the little blade things that he had sticking out. You know, they'll give him more of that crab tank look. Which I personally like the crab tank. I thought it was cool looking. I just never wanted to pull the trigger on it, because of the translucent plastic of like where the head attaches and all that. It's kind of scary. So I'm just like, don't think
there's something about joints, ball joints, and everything, and clear plastic that you're like, maybe not.
Oh man! All of my R.I.D. figures, like the car brothers, it's like, why
Exploding.
is this? It's like, why is every ball joint clear plastic? Well, and then the things I forgot was setting up my animated figures. So why does Ratchet have clear joints? And they're like seizing up, and I'm like, this thing is gonna break. And there's other animated figures with clear joints. It's like, what crazy person thought, let's make the joints clear? I want to go ask the Hasbro engineers, like, why is only the joint clear? Nothing else is clear here. But you cast the joint clear. Like, this is stupid. Like, why?
It's funny because if I had flashbacks when I first got into blockies, and then all of a sudden, like, the first one I saw was an Ironhide in all clear plastic. And I'm like, just why?
That's a time bomb.
Just why? And then they did Hound in all clear plastic. And I'm like, why are you doing this? Why? Have you learned nothing?
I mean,
And the car, I had those. Oh my God, I got rid of those so quick.
These guys will never leave this tray.
They might still pop. They might still pop.
oh yeah,
I mean,
the translucent
gorgeous.
ones.
Yeah, I had those. They're gorgeous. But they'll do one of two things. If you have them out for any amount of time, they're either going to yellow or they're going to explode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mine are looking. I don't know how the joints are,
Don't touch it.
but they aren't looking like they're yellowing. So, but they're staying in this tray. They're never leaving it.
Yeah.
I pull them out to it.
I'm going to have them out and on the earth.
Yeah, I pull them out and I go, these look really cool. Okay, back into the box.
Back in you go.
Back into your dungeon.
Yeah. You are.
That's where you live. You.
I mean, it's sad because that's to me is probably the coolest iteration of those. Was the translucent ones are completely.
It really was a neat set when it came out,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember trying to find them for the longest time. I did wind up getting them. Actually, I had them twice, and it was around the time that everyone was talking about how the clear plastic would get brittle.
Oh man!
And it never occurred to me, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm going to get rid of them.
Well, I mean, it's just because it's the way they have to make them. It's the manufacturing process. It's what they had to do to make something translucent. They had to shoot just a little bit of certain type of hue into it, and that causes the plastics to kind of start degrading on their own already because it's a chemical bond situation. So,
and we use GPS,
mm-hmm.
but it's not GPS.
No.
Okay, it's different.
No,
and everyone knows GPS is just because the gold plastic that they used when they mixed it.
It's the same thing with
The
blues
two
and browns.
colors Yeah, the two colors did not join together. So over time, you had micro fractures,
Especially
which
it's exacerbated
then
with
snap.
metal flakes
Mm-hmm.
in the plastic.
Oh yeah, and then I was just talking to Mike Boyle about it. Um, with Magnaboss, Silverbolt, they found out the brown does it. So the wings,
Oh,
all those things
brown.
will just explode. Does the same
Brown
thing.
is a dangerous color on all Transformers.
Brown and blue.
And then way back in
And
Diaclone,
black.
Blue Streak, the blue, if
Yep.
it didn't turn green, it became very, very fragile. It did the same thing.
Well,
So
a
it's
lot of,
constantly happening.
I mean, it's like take for instance Power Master Prime. What's the most
Yep.
notorious thing to break on him? That blue peg that you use to connect the trailer to the cab. That, or even trying to curl him up to put him into his little
There's a
crunched
clip.
up version to stick him in there.
Well, but there's
Those,
a clip that if you do not put the Power Master in, there's a clip that releases the legs,
mhm,
and the problem was is kids would just grab it and swing it and they would snap off. And then with that peg, they were breaking just because of the tolerances.
right.
But yes, the type of plastic they used on the peg and the type of plastic that was on the trailer were different, and one aged more than the other, to which it would snap,
Yeah.
and that's why you had the peg snapping off.
I mean,
It just had to do with the type of plastic.
well, the feet for Prime himself, like just the feet, whenever you take the fold the feet down, that tab in there that actually holds those feet sometimes tends to snap as well if you're not careful. It's something I realized throughout the years because I've had quite a few people report that to me, even like the blue plastic, even in the feet on the just the smaller version of Prime before you turn him into the huge version. Those will actually the mechanism in there is sometimes so stiff. So I always recommend anybody to, I don't know, take it apart. Do what you have to do, maybe shave it down a little bit so it doesn't grab so tight. Sometimes you can use, it's a type of gear grease they use for radio controlled cars. That sometimes helps with some joints, but
Yeah,
you
there's
have
a.
to be very
It's not a
careful.
graphite grease, but it's something
Yeah, it's like a
similar.
silicone base,
Yeah,
but it tends to help a
Yeah.
lot with a lot of these small little issues with like breakage for some of these issues. But when you're talking transparent plastic, brown plastic, gold
there's
plastic, blue,
when you
they're just
have
going to
a
get brittle over time no matter what.
yeah when you have a figure that's 100% clear plastic, there's nothing you can do. You just keep it in the
That's
box and don't touch it.
why I don't buy them. And yeah, like 'cause,
Yep.
I mean, over there you can see on top I have my like premium color Beast Wars versus sets, which by the way I never opened these. I've had them for a long time. They were still in their slip cases. I finally opened. I never realized that retro box. It's just a slip in on top of the plastic shell inside of a like
That's all you get.
brown box. I was so disappointed. I was like, oh, like this isn't what I thought I was buying. But I have
Yeah,
that ghost. Yeah, they got me. I have that Ghost Starscream set though, right?
Hmm.
And I'm like, that Ghost Starscream never seen the light of day.
Yeah. Now, the funny thing is that it there are some that people don't really know. Um, Green plastic, okay. Center twin.
Hmm.
The head will snap off. The feet will snap off. Um, Vortex.
Oh yeah.
If you don't get the right one, and I can't remember if it's McCall or Takara, but it will just shatter anything that has that color, and that thing has a lot of that color in it. All the joints they use that greenish, uh, blue or whatever plastic, and it will just shatter.
I mean, I have to say that I was very surprised setting up all my stuff how few figures I broke. Because you can just like, I'm pulling stuff out that hasn't been moved for years. Some of it it was in a storage container for 3 years, but some of it I packed up when I moved into my first house in 2016. I never unpacked it. And so I'm like pulling out figures, and it's just like, oh my god, please don't this joint is gonna move or explode. I'm like, please
Well,
move,
yeah,
don't
like
explode.
I mean, to go a little further on that, Bruticus, G1 Bruticus, Onslaught has issues, Blastoff has issues, Vortex has issues. To some extent, Brawl has issues. The only one that survives is Swindle.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's funny.
they're all like, they all, because of the types of plastic they use, and there's different colors of it, but they get very brittle.
And I can see, because the way the sliding works in some of those, like even on my, because I have the universe versions of Ruination. I have like the tiger camo and then the Arctic camo one, and some of the like sliding out the bottom parts of like especially Rotor and Movor, they kind of didn't want to slide it out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's where I think, like I was saying, like that RC silicone grease can help with a lot of those small joint issues, and it doesn't hurt the plastics. That's the thing.
Yeah. Another thing I was going through is the universe, that Universe 2.0 era, or like the Transformers Prime era, sort of that where there was a lot of like those rubberized parts. All those are bent. And they're getting like, they have like a powdery quality to them.
It's a breaking down of the plastic.
Yeah.
This Michael, you'll get this all right off the bat. RID Prime and Ultra Magnus tires.
Mine still has some tires now.
I get it, but those went quick.
Yeah, one of my Optimus's tires is split, but it's still on the.
I don't know what they were thinking. They took rubber and wrapped it around and thought, oh, we'll just glue it together.
Yeah.
And no,
I surprisingly still
do not work.
No.
Most of the wheels I'm missing actually on my RD figures is on my Ultra Magnus, and it's because it was my brother's Ultra Magnus when we were kids, and he just lost the tires. Like they didn't split. So the Optimus Prime was mine. Now I'm missing a tire there that I lost as a kid, but I had most of the tires. But yeah, a few of those are starting to split, but they're at least, most of them are still intact. My Rid brothers all still have their tires. Yeah, I've somehow managed to maintain a good portion of my tires, but I'm just waiting for them all to split eventually.
I mean,
I'm surprised they haven't.
I watched a video, and it was actually Magnaboss, and the guy transformed it back and everything, and it was fine. And there's no rhyme to reason. You could sit there. You could have one that you just.
I'm pretty sure
could still shatter.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the only reason my Silverbolt is intact is because it's combined. I think if I take it apart, my Silverbolt is gone forever. So.
And you don't know. It's like Schrodinger's cat. You just don't know.
It's like buying a black Zerac mint in box and hoping to God it's not a pile of dust.
Well, there's a reason why I haven't bought a Shockerack.
Shockerack too.
Just those are, it's a Pandora's box if you buy one mint.
Yeah, what's the name of that Beast Wars one that turns into the pig that's a flip changer?
Randy.
Yeah. Do you have him?
All gold. Randy.
Just explodes in the package.
Right. The it's you just there's no rhyme or reason to it. I have seen figures that I know I've never touched that will shatter, and people will just manhandle and flip them around and not have any problems. There's and you could say, oh, it's the heat, it's this. I don't think so. I think it's just like, you rolled those dice and you got
Yeah, I
gotta
mean,
get rolled.
you got a good batch of plastic, and someone else didn't.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they're oh, and with the shocker rack, they had put like sparkle in the plastic to get it
Yep,
that different look,
that's what they
and
did to Masterpiece Megatron, and
it's not a good idea.
the cod piece on my Masterpiece Megatron has a big old crack in it.
Yeah,
So
it's just
he is a permanent robot mode.
yeah, it's
I kind of want to I want to track down one of the KOs just so I have something to. But
Well, I mean,
what I
always
really
wanted to get
might do is get an Minted Box one and just keep a Minted Box.
I always wanted the roller skate Rex, and the shop has one, but unfortunately, it's the U.S. one. So if I get it,
you gotta get
it's
the
gonna
Takara.
explode, and I'm like,
Yeah, I think I told
no,
I think
I
I
don't
told in
wanna
a
spend
different
that.
cast. I ripped it off dusting it.
Yeah.
My dust rag got caught on a small piece and it just ripped it right off at the shoulder.
mhm.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, the one we have at the shop, he's actually in really good condition. He's not broken or anything. But I'm like, I know the second I buy him, I bring him home and stick him on a shelf, something's gonna happen, and poof,
the,
there he goes.
the thing about that figure is they're all broken. You just haven't broke it yet.
Yeah.
Right. Like I said, I mean, the gold plastic that we were talking about before, it has micro fractures in it, which means it is broken.
Hmm.
You just haven't separated it yet.
Right.
Because if the shoulders don't get you on that Megatron, it's the waist.
Yeah, I was about to say
Yeah.
the waist is the big thing.
The
I
waist
always
is the
see.
big
I see that
Yep.
broken more than the shoulders on him, honestly. So I see him always on eBay just busted in half, and it's like, I'm sad now.
Yeah, I've never replaced mine. Because what I really like, ideally, I get the Takara one, but I would want to have the Hasbro one. I would want to have the pink chrome and the blue chrome. But it's not
So the
worth it.
question is, how hard is it to part swap between the two? I wonder. Maybe you could find a
I think
Japanese
I
one.
I
And
think
then
you
the
have to undo
broken one?
screws and undo pins.
And I think any of the ones with the issues, any screws or pins, you're gonna break it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're gonna wind up with powder.
Yeah, that's true.
I actually, you remember that Retgar, the motorcycle, the dirt bike Retgar from Universe?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I was trying to, because one of his handlebars are made of that stupid rubber,
Hmm.
and one was already bent, but I was trying to bring them in like you would to transform it, to put it away, and one I brought in just fine, the other one snapped right out. Because there's a brown plastic holding the pin, and it was sort of seized in place, and the just little brown loop went, nope.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to remember back when, because I used to have a lot of the Bavers stuff, and one of them I had, I think his name was Brimstone. It was a motorcycle.
I think I
But
know which one you're talking about. It's
when I
Revenge
bought
of the
him,
Fallen
he was
era, right?
fine. And then over time, since I didn't mess with him much, I was going to go pack him up, put him away. I didn't realize that the person that had it before me used super glue to tighten the joints.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
for a
use some
ball
super
joint
glue.
I've heard
What's in the
people
next
do
guy?
that. It's a bad idea. Very bad idea.
Yeah,
Because
they
super
make
glue
product
will
for that now.
Yeah,
well, I
yeah,
mean, super glue will harden and then get soft again and then harden again.
correct.
And I've always
Super
said,
glue's not a constant.
yeah, I've always said use clear nail polish.
I've used clear nail polish and knock wood. I've not had a problem.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I saw people using the all you have to do is super glue and keep working it, working it, working it, and it'll be fine. And I'm like, no, because that will still it can still stick
Mm-hmm.
years later.
Yeah, there's an actual product made
Yeah,
for joints. I
it's
think
not liquid plastic. It's
yeah, I don't remember if I saved it on Amazon. But yeah, it's because I think it's sort of made for like Gundam kits and stuff like that. It's kind of where it. Um,
Is it
but
the what do they call those joints? It's the joints that are kind of rubbery. Um, it's where you usually just put the ball joint goes into the rubbery part to give it the ability to be able to move its arm. I forget what it's
wish I
called,
would-
but it's something where to keep that rubbery material soft, so that way you can still move the joint just fine.
they have one that's called Kiki.
that's what it is. Yeah,
That's I think I've
like
heard
like
of that
Kiki,
before.
like Kiki Fix or something like that.
It's called Kiki Fix Loose
Yeah.
Joint Solution. Yeah,
Yeah, that
and
that,
that's the
that I
one
see a lot of people use that on their
will
monster.
not. It will once it clears, it makes a hard rubber friction, which means it's going to give a little.
Yeah, I see people use that for their monster arts and stuff like that because sometimes
Yeah,
you'll get like a
that's
tail
good.
that's really loose.
That's actually better than clear nail polish. Clear nail polish does give a little, but this is more of a rubber. Um, I just googled it real quick. There's people that say Loctite, and I'm like, no.
Psst, what?
Yeah, red or
Yeah.
blue, red or blue.
Please tell me
It
that's not.
says
Tell
Loctite
me that's
Ultra Gel.
is that an AI summary?
Um, but
Because if it is, I wouldn't.
AI summary's pulling it from somewhere. That's the thing.
just
Someone
remember,
on Reddit said use Loctite.
yeah,
And somebody on
just
Reddit
remember
said it's
that
healthy to drink
Loctite,
toilet water too.
Loctite is a rubber base, but it will not stay the same. It is
Guys.
made. It's made to do what it says. It's
Listen here, kids.
tight.
Listen here, kids. You go and you get the red Loctite. It's perfect for joints. You put it right in there. You stick it in wet. You're good to go.
If you never want to.
And then you can go on Amazon and buy a replacement.
Yeah.
Well, Michael told me to do it.
The joint, I promise you, the joint will never come out.
No.
No, I mean
You also will never move it again. But
enjoy your new
If
statue.
you wanted to be a statue, that's.
I
how you
think
do
it only takes like, I don't know, 700 pounds of force to break red Loctite or something like that.
Right. I mean, they say that it hardens in an hour.
Yeah.
But for that type of plastic, I'm thinking minutes, if that. Which means if you put it on there, you done messed up, Ron.
Mhm.
Yeah.
True.
Loctite's powerful stuff.
It works.
Now maybe you could use maybe you could use a little bit of Loctite to fix your split tires.
That might work. Just remember, Loctite
Actually-
is used for metal on metal to keep it moving.
I
And
use
I'm
it in
saying
my
again, metal on metal.
I use it in my motorcycle. To when I put the bolts back in, you put a little bit of blue Loctite on it so that those things don't rattle out down while you're running down
Blue
the road.
Loctite, not red, because you put red, you'll never get them out again.
Red Loctite, I'm never going to replace that part again.
Blue,
I'm gonna buy a
you
new
can
motorcycle
still
instead.
work it loose, eventually.
It's hard, but the blue Loctite you can at least still open.
I was sitting there kind of wondering because I was like, if those tires, like you're talking about the RID Prime and Magnus, if it's just a split where they're just splitting and it comes loose, there's nothing really else wrong with it. Why couldn't you super glue them together and then on the back side of them, I don't know, take like a soldering iron or something if you're good enough,
Oh,
and be able
I
to
got some
melt
keys
them
right
back together on the back side so that way they wouldn't come loose.
I've got a better one, and it wasn't mine. I remember this from a long time ago.
Hmm.
What you do is you super glue it together, then on the inside, you staple it. Just a staple.
We know I see a lot of I've seen a lot of
They
these.
talk about putting a pin
Yeah.
in it to create but a staple on the inside, as long as you smooth it so it is rounded on the
Mhm.
inside.
Yeah, I was
Well,
about to suggest a pin because I've seen a lot of those Gundam repairs where
Yep.
you get that little hand drill and then you put a little pin in. I figured you could probably do that with the tire. Put
Right,
a
but
couple little
remember,
drops of super glue and
well, remember with a staple, you've got
Yeah.
a non-moving pin in between two pieces of metal going straight down.
Mhm.
It's not perfect, but I believe that once you get the tire on, it would look probably the best as long as you do the gluing right, and I think it would hold pretty good.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
I don't know how
just
much
'cause they're
I
rubber, you
don't
can
know
melt
how
them
much
back
dry
together.
rot. So long as your rubber's not starting to dry rot, then yeah.
Well, the ones I always saw,
That's why you
it was
soak
like
them in
a clear
Vaseline.
a clear split because that glue just went bye-bye.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm
that's
talking
how
like,
mine is. Yeah.
but I saw that like maybe
Oh yeah.
4 years after they came out. Wasn't long, and they were splitting. And I'm like, wow,
I mean,
that was a poor sign.
well, they did that reissue. When was that reissue? Was that 2014?
Reshoot what?
What do you mean reissue?
The Prime and Magnus that they did?
You mean the Hasbro one?
Yeah, that reissue they did.
That wasn't that long ago. It was a
Yeah,
few years ago.
but how well
I don't
has
know what
that
they did
one
with
held up? I wonder.
I don't know. I didn't pick that one up. I'm not an RID fan.
So I didn't know because I wasn't sure. I didn't know if Sideburn might have picked up that set too, just because it was a new one.
No, I don't even. I'm not even sure which one that is, to be honest with you.
It was before Death Stars.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
you're not
wasn't
talking
a
about the
HasLab.
HasLab.
It wasn't a
No.
HasLab.
I think
It
he's
was just
talking
like
about
a
the original.
reissue type of. I think it was like an e-hobby
Oh.
thing or something.
I mean, hobby hasn't been around in a long time.
Yeah,
I do not remember that.
because it was, I want to say in 2014 or something like that, they announced that they were going to do a reissue of those two together, and a lot of people were like, "Yeah, I'm buying that because the tires are split on mine or whatever." And I remember
A
that being a
direct
big deal. Say again?
a direct 1-to-1. It wasn't any
Yeah.
different.
There's no
I
difference.
do not remember that at all.
Yeah, I remember it. It was like a 2-pack too. I think they sold both of them together. I want to
mean,
say it was
I
a
know-
Takara.
I remember the
It might have
Costco
been
and
just a
Sam's
Takara.
Costco's were, yeah, but then also like the
but
Japanese
those were
one
repeat.
with the big Master Sword
Mhm.
was a 2-pack. But that also had Mike's favorite clear plastic, so that had a lot of issues. I'd say if you had one of those, you probably got like a gold because if it is not broken, there's probably a lot less of those out there because you
Yeah,
not
I wanna
only
get-
had the tires, you had the clear plastic on Ultra Magnus.
I want to get the black Super Fire combo. I think.
Well, isn't Don trying to find the black Magnus to go with his Prime? Is that what he said?
There
he
was a
needed?
gift set version in 2000.
Yeah, but I don't think they did a reissue.
There's 2005. There was the multi-pack at
Costco.
Costco. Yeah, but that one had
They had the
And
yellow.
one has-
No, that was Sam. Sam's had the yellow.
yeah. Sam's was the yellow. This one was just had like dark plastic on Magnus and
Yeah,
a couple of dark plastic spots on Optimus.
And then there was some paint differences. But then in
There
Japan,
was
they did a Toys R Us.
So it's 2018. He's right. In Encore, there was a Godfather Fire Convoy multi-pack in 2018.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Okay.
Yeah, it was an Encore reissue gift set. Um,
So I wonder how well those fared.
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm like having flashbacks now that I'm seeing it because I
Mhm.
forgot about the Encore series. But
I don't remember the Encore at all.
I
That's what I was
really
saying. I thought
yeah.
it was Takara, so Encore Takara. I kind of
Here, I'm
put them
gonna try and
kind
look
of
it up. I
almost in
want
the
to see what the
same
box
thing.
looks
Different
like.
plastic colors, chrome details are replaced with show accurate paint applications. Because that's where the big convoys were releasing the Encore
Yeah.
stuff. So I was buying the big convoys at the time, but I skipped over this one.
Yeah, I
I'm
wasn't sure
looking.
if you had gotten that one or not. I didn't know if there were any
I
like
see
actual
pictures.
differences.
I don't see a boxed one. What does the box artwork look? I see the. Oh, okay. Now I see it. Yeah, that was the picture they used for the Toys R Us. The Japanese Toys R Us one. They had the God Sword.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. I do remember this one.
Yeah, I wonder how
Um,
the tires fared on that one because I mean it's the same toy.
yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's.
That was also the only way you could get that sword.
Mm-hmm. Because a lot of people wanted that sword to go with their Brave Maximus. That's why. Because there was no actual real sword for the Brave Maximus until that one came out, and then you had all these.
Not for the Brave, but Brave
Oh,
also
man.
didn't come with weapons either.
Yeah.
Well, unless you count the lucky draw.
We don't look at lucky draws. How many people have
Me.
those?
It's still out there. I'm just
Well, I
mentioning.
want to know the person on the face of
That's
this planet that
interesting.
has every lucky draw there is. I want to know that
I-
person.
I don't
Apparently
think,
I
that
don't think there is a person like that
I mean,
exists.
there's a lucky draw that there's like 5 of.
I think there's a lucky draw that there's one of.
There might be
Yeah.
even one.
Yeah.
I doubt
it
if
was
one
like
person has one of every.
it was like a because I think it was like created. It was like you won it, and then they created it.
If you won.
Like well, they created it to some specification of the person who won or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was like a personalized sort of thing. So
I just remember.
I remember
seeing
reading that.
the green Unicron.
Yeah.
I did see that.
There are some really rare like Beast Wars lucky draws that I'll never own. But so the funny thing about that Godfire the multi-pack, apparently that thing had so many quality control issues that Takara Tomy issued a public apology and a refund recall for the
Oh,
set.
bought them back. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably why they are kind of forgotten. Apparently, there was a design flaw in Fire Convoy's ankle joint, which made it impossible for the truck cab to clip together. There were misaligned parts. The electronics played the wrong sounds. There were inaccurate pictures and stuff on the packaging.
Yeah.
So
What they do,
apparently that
comments
set was a
there?
Apparently that set was a nightmare. So I would assume that the tires probably sucked. If I
Adam,
had
maybe
to
the
put any
tires is the
money
only.
on it,
Watch the tires be the only thing they got right.
someone out there probably bought that just to get the tires and put it on their originals.
And then just stuck it back in the box and shoved it in the corner and never touched it again.
Yeah.
Oh man, we're approaching 3 hours, guys.
3 hours? No,
Three.
Three.
It's only 2 hours.
A little over 2. Not 3 hours.
This is 2 hours and 47 minutes.
Yeah, it's 2 hours.
That's how long the
no,
call's
that's
been
on
going
the
at least.
call, bro.
Yeah.
No, it's only
Well,
2 hours.
I mean,
It's a little over 2 hours is what we've been doing.
YouTube doesn't give us a minutes, so I
I
was like,
see the minutes.
yeah.
It's 2 hours and 14 minutes.
I would say that to any of those that have these sets, um, congratulations, don't touch it.
Yeah.
To any
Oh
of
man,
those, including Michael, that has the Clear Brothers, congratulations, don't touch it.
You know what's kind of crazy? I have
I
this.
tell you, I was being super careful setting up the normal brothers because there's almost every panel on Prowl and Sideburn, especially.
Yeah, they're
clear
painted,
plastic.
but they're still clear.
Yeah.
You're right.
Well, I bought
Xbron has the least amount of clear plastic. His major clear plastic part is the top part that swivels on its back.
I had
Um,
I had bought it was like a third party version, like a smaller, downsized version of Six Shot, but he came in black, and he also had like red parts on him, which was I think they called him Shadow Shot or something. But he also came with a pack-in modern Diaclone figure that's all translucent red.
Yeah, let's just do that.
I'm like, this thing's scary. I'm like, this thing may explode one day, knowing that it's also kind of a official thing.
I've never really heard of problems. I've never really heard problems with it, but I have the Crystal Beast Wars Convoy, and I have the various fire convoys, or
Yeah, I was gonna
burning
ask you about the
burning
burning
convoys, the various burning convoys. I've never heard of breakage on them, but I'm like
The,
always a little weary.
the clear one, the one that's clear, not red.
Yeah. That one's
I
loose.
I do remember seeing those that people were saying in the box, the arm joints were snapped.
Ouch.
Mine is floppy.
You gotta remember that's where that spinning action is.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Yeah.
So something about that that they said the cracks, but I do remember reading, this was a while ago, that like they would pick it up and his arm would be laying down by his foot. You know, it's kind of like, oops.
Mine's at least held together. He's floppy. He's always been floppy since I got him. But yeah, he at least doesn't have any breakage on him.
I'm pretty sure I have one of those two, and now I'm kind of like, do I really even want to go and look? I don't think I do.
He's in my shelf now, so there's never a good reason to touch
in the
it.
corner in his box, and I just kind of went, no, he's fine. I'm sure he's fine. I'm gonna leave him alone.
It'll be fine. Don't worry
He'll be
about
fine.
Well, that's like Beast Wars. Inferno is all clear plastic. I never had a problem with a joint breaking, but I actually had mine take a shelf dive, and it did break his leg. And I just had to end up having to buy a whole new. Luckily, I just got on eBay and spent like $10 and bought a new leg.
Yeah.
And I ended up replacing his some of his jetpack things too.
All the pieces.
Yeah. Well, so weird story. When I got my Inferno, he was boxed. Open, but he's still on all the twist ties. But there was someone took like a soldering iron or something and just put a symbol in one of his panels for his jetpack. And it was there since I got it, and I was like, what the heck? So when he took a shelf dive and broke, I was like, well, I'll replace this piece too, I guess. So I found someone who had a bunch of Inferno parts on eBay and then bought some.
That's bizarre. Somebody would do that.
It was very weird. I don't think I kept the panel either, but it was just someone just like burnt in a symbol into. I don't know. It's like.
Yep, don't know about that one.
That's a strange one.
Yeah, it's wacky.
I mean,
I don't think I've ever even told anyone about that.
But not. I'm gonna actually etch my initials into this with a freaking solder.
No, it was like I don't know. Maybe someone was trying to like do some witchcraft and bring them to life or something. I don't know. Putting some like
I'm
freaking
summoning
Nordic,
forth the spirit of
some
Inferno to save my life.
putting some Nordic runes into his to protect him when he sleeps or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if I'd choose Inferno. He was insane.
maybe that person was just as sane as Inferno was.
I really just want him to come alive and burn everything. But yeah, that is my my weirdest Transformers thing that I don't think I've ever really. So I wish I still had the panel to show people, but yeah, just a symbol etched into the Inferno's plastic.
Yeah, that's a bizarre one. I have never heard of that one before, and I don't think I've ever ran across anything like that. Even collecting used ones, never came across anything strange like that before. I've seen a lot of mistransformed things and stuff like that, or somebody put up. There's one time I think I had ordered a figure and I got it, and it was like the legs were backward. They literally had them on wrong, and I had to take them apart and put them back on right. I think that's the only time I've ever had any kind of craziness like that. Except for when Hasbro screwed up, what was it, Skids or something like that, where they actually manufactured it backward or something? Was it Classic Skids or something?
I don't,
Because it had something to do with his feet.
I actually own 2 Transformers that have, well, I have the Cyber Scale Starscream that came with the Waspinator.
Mm-hmm.
He has 2 left feet. I have my Baldigus set, my United Baldigus. My I'm gonna call him Rotor. But I know that's not his name. Or no, it is Rotor because it's Baldigus. Mm-hmm. Never mind. Rotor. He has like 2 right arms.
How the heck did you get that combined?
And well, he had. The arms don't affect anything. It's just the missiles, instead of both facing up, one arm the missiles face down. But he's in his vehicle mode, and then the last one that I can think of off the top of my head is the Junkion toe line, mm-hmm. The one that's made to look like RID toe line.
Yeah,
its ankles pivot the wrong direction.
Oh wow,
that's interesting.
That's definitely a new one. I've never heard of that one. You
Yeah.
sure you can't just switch them? Like switch the feet?
I mean, I could probably take it apart and pop some pins, but no. if I switch his feet, he it doesn't transform like that.
That's strange.
Yeah.
That's a strange.
I got a few weird oddballs in my collection. But the perfectionists out there probably would have taken them back, but they're mine. Damn it.
I paid for that imperfection.
Do you have a Starscream with 2 left feet? I didn't think so.
This one is mine.
He can't dance though.
He can only dance in one direction.
Hey. I think we're done, boys.
I think we are.
Yeah, something about Father's Day.
Something about Father's Day.
Yeah. So, all right, I'm just going to say happy Father's Day to all you fathers. And good night, everybody.
Sideburn.
Yeah, happy Father's Day. Hope everyone had a good one. And don't transform or even remove clear plastic toys from their packages.
And I'm going to say happy Father's Day, everybody, and we will see you guys next week. Good night, y'all.
Bye bye.